So I tried my little microphones that I got because I was bamboozled by an Instagram ad, and these are terrible. Do not get them. Spend the money, drop $100, and get the real thing. That's all I will say. And get the corded attachments, like the lavalier corded stuff, because the wireless can be unreliable. So that's my little tech tip for all my people that are also doing this stuff out here, because most likely if you're watching my content, you probably have something to say and share too, but maybe you just don't know it yet. So I'll just leave that little seed to germinate as it will. But I wanted to continue this thread of, unraveling the self so that this shit gets dissolved and we can be free of it, And the one that I am particularly curious about, or whatever consciousness it is that I've been noticing lately with all of this upheaval of this recent relationship, I've noticed a lot of fragmentation and second guessing of myself, and also I think this precedes at this point. All of this originated, I think, prior, obviously, to this time of my life in this recent period, but it was all kind of combed out, as relationships will do. It will comb and tease out all of your insides that were hidden to you. And I've noticed for a long time this tendency that I have sometimes to avoid eye contact, or when I'm talking about certain things, I will look away, and noticing sometimes, depending on myself, struggling to stay focused. And I noticed that exaggerated a lot in this recent time of my life, especially the latter two, of just like identifying and subscribing to the belief of ADHD, or just really disassociating. And I've been curious about it because I think it's definitely fueled by a separate self and unconscious belief. I think, in this particular relationship, I was the feelings that were evoked and the selves that were evoked had a lot to do around the themes of not being worthy to be heard or listened to. Like, I am not valuable, I am not, that was what they would say, and feeling less of a right to be here on earth, to express freely as I am allowed to do, because I have free will and I can be myself. So all of those things were tested, and I'm noticing right now a lot of not knowing what I can or cannot say. Like, I'm supposed to say a certain thing, or I will be judged or perceived a certain way. And I noticed this kind of like skating around the point of what's really going on for me, and it just brings me back to certain places in my childhood where I wasn't allowed to say the truth and to tell my truth and to be myself and to be honest. I wasn't allowed, that was forbidden, and I had to be a certain way based off of an outer authority, which was my authority figure, and that kind of continued into the relationship of like for somehow their opinion or analysis of the situation is somehow more superior than my own. Which I'm not going to go into like the full depths of everything right now, because I'm going to save that for my therapist. But I just want to say that the reason why I bring all of this up is to not just go into my personal dramas. There's a universality to it all, because it's the why. It's the what and the why. So the traumas, the separate selves that were created, want to continue to play out their dramas and run your life. And it'll jump from people to places to relationships to all these different things. And for me, I'm a very relational being. And a lot of my stuff is revealed in relationships, always has been. For other people, it's different contexts and situations. But in my understanding, for me in my life, relationships are the ticket to my self-awareness. Self-discovery. But that's changing. And that was the case. And so we'll see how it will be. But, even if I want to give a lot of weight to astrology or gene keys, rather, there's a theme of relationships being a big factor in my development. And so in my self understanding. And so again, these separate selves are created from whenever they're created. And if we continue to believe and subscribe to the stories that they tell us and the dramas that they project into our field, in our consciousness, that we believe, like the smoke screen, like we believe that what's on the screen, it's just kind of like this never-ending, a friend of mine called it this never-ending laundromat of just like washing machine over and over and over, and just keeps going and goes nowhere. And I think I will be fair, I think he was also referring to, the consciousness of the consciousness of the different entities and deities or whatever in the mental, emotional, and identity realms that we can't see. I was referring to it in my last video, and like the demons and the different Jabba the Hutt-esque figures in the astral realms. And so that kind of go nowhere, because they can only go as high as where they're at, because they are not working with the Ascended Masters, so they can't have like this purity of light. And even if they aren't malintent, or like even if they don't have ill intent for your life, a lot of them do, some of them don't, but they just kind of keep going in circles where they are. And you can always tell these figures, the people that do channelings and stuff from entities from the great beyond that we don't know, Pleiades, whatever. It's like they tell you great information and it seems really uplifting, but it's like it only goes to a certain point. Like, do you ever notice that you either outgrow them or you just kind of keep spiraling with them, because they're not usually connected to a force, to the creator in that way. I don't know, I'm not explaining it well. You should let the Ascended Masters do that. They can explain it way better than me. So yeah, I just wanted to give like another example, I guess, from my own experience of the ways in which I have kept myself in these drama cycles, believing the separate selves, and as I move more into this present moment awareness of reflecting and not feeding it, I give it more opportunity for it to release its grasp on me and to eventually die. And I am just so curious, oh my gosh, what it will be like, which is happening right now as we speak, because I'm already giving it the attention to do so and to unravel. How I will respond and react to things moving forward, because there'll still be stimuli coming in, and it will give me the opportunity to respond from a different place, you know. And I will say, once I did leave the area that I was that I've been living in, and I went on a vacation, I can't deny the immediate progress and reconnection that I felt, because there has been so many entities and demons and forces in those realms that I cannot see necessarily, that make it more likely for me to continue those cycles of non-growth. There's growth, but it's so much cycling, you know, and it provokes these feelings of like the narratives of something's wrong with me, something's this, and it's like it's basically all the narratives that feed into this sense of wanting to die, like the actual me to not continue to want to live. And it's a very immobilizing feeling to believe all of those things, and to be rendered into this kind of freeze response, and also war consciousness, because I'm like projecting my anger out. So it's like I'm in this like soup of like stagnant, misqualified God energy, really. And the way out is through these invocations and decrees. And so you're working with the Ascended Masters, you're saying these invocations and decrees, and you are, sorry, it's loud, you are qualifying God energy back into your stream of your life force energy and vessel. And I notice some separate selves that do not want me to do that, but I do it and I feel better. And so I went away from where I was. I felt better. I go back into the environment, and it's the same shit, different day. But I could then give power to that and say that, oh, I need to just escape the situation, and be extreme about it. But regardless, there has been a knowing inside of me that this is not my place necessarily for me to remain. This was always a temporary place to do healing work for me. And instead of, I'm going to continue to do my spiritual work, so that when the time comes for me to stay or go, it's just kind of a neutral thing of like following the flow and river of life, as they say. Because every time, I mean, this is what was so clear to me whenever I went away on that vacation trip. And I was very clear, and I was doing my spiritual practices and invocations and decrees. It was so clear to me that that was my next step, you know, in terms of like on the journey of life, like the chapter, the new next chapter. And so there are forces, let me tell you, that do not want me to grow past this, and either want me to die, to continue cycling with this abusive relationship, to continue to other the others and make conflict with other people and blame them for who they are and their impact on me and being a victim. There is so much. That's how you know you're powerful. That's that you, I mean, they call the Ascended Masters, call them avatars. Like, that's how you know that like you're really on the precipice of something really big, because in a breakthrough, because all of a sudden, why does it feel like Satan has unleashed his demonic force upon me and like wants to compromise all that I am and all that I'm here to do by just keeping me in this shit. So that is when you buckle down and you do the work and you trudge through the mud, because it will seem like your life is not in flow, but you exerting a lot of effort does not mean that you are not in flow. It means that you need to be responsible for yourself and your life and make the next right choice, and not worry so much about what the outcome will be, but just to know that like this is where I am being led, and so I'm going to do this next right thing. It's always about doing the next right thing in alignment. So I hope this helps. wherever you are on your path and your journey. And if you feel like Satan and his demons have been leashed upon you for years of your life, like me, like wondering, like, what, I used to not be this way. I was like, I just feel like this wasn't my life at a certain point. But as we become more conscious of the separate selves, and we continue to choose them, because at the end of the day, I've been choosing them. I've been believing them in a lot of ways, and it's only been whenever I would leave and I would get perspective, or I would do something out of the ordinary and get perspective, and like do something spontaneous with joy and ecstasy and delight, that I would be like, oh, there I am. I've been believing that I've been this other thing, and I've really just been ran by ghosts and demons. Oh, that's not who I am. And so I do my due diligence to be responsible for myself and my life and what I'm here to do. And I know that all of this is going to serve a deeper purpose, and I'm not going to let the fears and the projections of the mass consciousness, because that's the thing too. It's not just your own self. It's like mass consciousness, deities and demons, and there's another name for them that I keep forgetting. But like these forces, demons, the Jabba the Hutt astral figures that are sucking life force out of us to get energy. It's not to invoke fear, it's just reality. It's okay, you know. Invoke spiritual light and protection, you're fine. Or do whatever practices that work for you that clear you, you know. For me, singing, dancing, moving my body, that's also a way that I get clear, you know. Working on creative projects is how I get clear too, you know. I'm not trying to like sell you anything in terms of like the Ascended Master stuff. It's just like, it works, you know. So, because ultimately all of these different tools, whatever they are, whether you're conscious of it or not, I think I feel better because it's like, I look at it now and it's like, because I'm remembering that I am an extension of these beings. I'm an extension of the masters on the planet in physical form. I am not them. I'm not, I don't want to get caught up in nuance, but it's not like the Ascended Masters, one particular master is an embodied person on this planet. That's not how it is. We are an extension of them. They are so big and mighty and all, you know, what they are, and we are extensions of them. So it's like, imagine there's like the one Godhead or something, and there's like thousands of life streams that are extensions of that Godhead kind of thing. Not to imply that they're a Godhead, but you know what I mean. So I hope the quality of the audio is okay enough. I will be at some point getting better. I bet you I could just get a cheaper version of these and it be corded and it be fine. The wireless is bullshit, let me tell you. At least for these are crap. Get the real ones that are good. So I'll be getting the receiver for the plug-in versions where I'll have a cord and stuff. So thank you for hearing me and walking the path. And I will continue this conversation